I work with leadership teams in organizations of anywhere between 10 people to 250 people. That's a sweet spot, so mid-market, to strengthen the 6 key components. Now, I've also worked with smaller organizations and larger ones, a couple thousand people. So it works for all sizes of business, but that's the sweet spot. And so what I'd like to do now is share with you the how. So this isn't theory. This is not theory. It's based on timeless principles for sure. But if you're serious about getting that thing that you want, I'm going to show you how. In the next 45 minutes or so, we're going to roll up our sleeves. We're going to do some work. Might hurt your brain a little bit, but that's a good thing. And we're going to figure out how to strengthen these 6 key components. And I want you to think less about the content, okay? It's all up here. It's all in your workbooks. And I want you to think about how does this apply to you, okay? You're taking your valuable time to be here today. And now we also heard about let's be present. Let's be here right now. And if you do that, and you roll up your sleeves with me, I promise you you'll walk out of here, and tomorrow you'll be able to implement one thing at least that's going to get you on a path to getting that thing that you wrote down. So, do I have everybody's agreement that we're going to work hard today to figure out how to get that thing that you want? And you can make any noise you want right now. Let's hear it. Are you ready? Are you with me? Are you ready? Are you with me? All right. Okay. So let's do this now. So the 6 key components. Attract people to our culture. Repel people that do not fit our culture. But we've got to get them clear, and then we've got to use them. And I'm going to show you how to use them. But right now, what I'd like you to do is in your workbook, if you have core values, and you can remember them, that's bonus points, you can write them down where it says core values. Now, hopefully they're 3 to 7 is the range that we're looking for. 3 at least. Now, those of you that maybe don't have core values yet or are thinking, no, I think we need some new ones, there's a cheat sheet for you on the next page. So I think it's page 6. So just take a look at that cheat sheet and use one of those. Something that jumps out at you, something that resonates with you. When I'm working with my teams to create their core values, I'll tend to get a sense for who they are. And we finish the exercise, and core values, they finish the list. I'm looking at the list, and I'm thinking, you're a pretty hardworking group here. You're always, all hours of the night, you're emailing, right? You're a do-what-it-takes kind of company. It's not reflected anywhere in those core values. And so you've really got to be honest about this. Be honest about this and clear it. Is it who you are? Another company that I work with, boy, they are so nice. They are the nicest people. And it's their company. They're not necessarily in the nicest industry, but they're nice people. It's important that that gets reflected in the core values. And I'm going to show you how we use these in a second, but it's very important that you write down at least 3. Okay, so please write down 3. Make sure you've got them in your focus. When you are in your sweet spot, I know you've all been there, that ball goes further and straighter. You stray outside of that core focus, you're pulling another ball out of the bag. The same thing goes with organizations. Just because we're great at one thing does not mean we're great at another thing. I've seen it too many times where an organization starts to steer over here because it's a shiny object, and off the stage you go. Stay focused. What's the 10-year target? It's the big goal. It's one thing. It's that beacon on the horizon. It's that beacon on the horizon. Simon mentioned EOS earlier. EOS set a 10-year target 7 years ago. 10,000 companies using EOS. At the time, there was 60. So, Gino Wickman, author of Traction, speaking to his co-founder said to him, how the hell are we going to do that? Gino looked at him and said, I have no idea. So that's not the point. The point is, once you set it, it's out there. It's out there. So in EOS's case, they had no idea. We're not that good. We're not that smart to plot that course. They're going to hit their target in 7 years is what's going to happen. And they started with putting it out there. If anyone's familiar with those Tibetan bareback riders that, if you've seen this, they go galloping past these targets and they're going a million miles an hour hanging off the side of a horse. And they hit the target every single time. And so the question was asked to one of them, how do you hit the target every time? A lot of practice? The response was, I set my strongest line of energy towards the target and I send my arrow there. Now, the other person on the other side of the table, all I had to do was guess the song. Can someone take a guess at out of 100 students, how many guessed it right? Throw a number. Any number. 8? 6. 6. 6. So if you're walking around, if you're leading people, and you're playing thump thump, sometimes that's what they're hearing. They cannot see what you're saying. You've got to help them. So this is what the 3-year picture is. The 3-year picture is you getting out of your mind and onto paper so everyone else can join that. Everyone else can buy into that. So we want to set that timeline 3 years from now. What do our measurables look like? You can see them there. What do we need them to be?